Hello, and welcome to the RobotReviewer user study. This video will give you some instructions on how to use the tool. You have already seen the instructions and informed consent page and confirmed this by clicking on the Continue button. After that, you've seen a small questionnaire which you have already answered as well. After you've finished watching this video, you can click on the Continue button below to proceed to the main study. You will see RobotReviewer's document page. On the left-hand side, you can see the PDF to work on, and on the right-hand side, you see RobotReviewer's risk of bias categories. At the moment, they are all collapsed, but you can activate them and expand them by simply clicking on them. You will see a total of 4 PDFs in this study. 2 of them will have RobotReviewer's automatic annotation system activated, and 2 of them will not. In this case, you will see a PDF where RobotReviewer gives you its automatic annotations. By clicking on one or more of the risk of bias categories, you can expand them and see all the annotations. You can click on one of the annotations, and RobotReviewer will automatically navigate you to the information in the document. And you will also find an overall risk of bias prediction that RobotReviewer is giving you. In this case, the random sequence generation overall risk of bias prediction is low. If you agree with that, you can simply leave the information as it is. If you do not agree with the automatic RobotReviewer assessment, you can simply click on a field, change it to what you think is best, and then hit Save. You will see RobotReviewer changed its overall bias prediction for this category. You can add and remove an annotation to a risk of bias category by simply highlighting the information in the document. You will see a pen icon appear, and by clicking on it, RobotReviewer will add the highlighted information to the risk of bias category. Be careful, in case you have 2 risk of bias categories activated and highlight the text, RobotReviewer will add this sentence to both categories. You can remove an annotation by simply clicking on the X. In some cases, you will not see an overall risk of bias prediction by RobotReviewer. This is simply due to the fact that RobotReviewer couldn't categorize it in this case. After you completed your work on one of the PDFs, you can simply move on by clicking on the Next button. A pop-up will appear asking you if you really want to move on to the next document and submit all your work to RobotReviewer. If you click OK, you will leave this PDF and move on to the next one. If you click Cancel, the pop-up window will disappear and you can continue working on this PDF. On the next PDF here, you can see that this is one of the 2 PDFs which has RobotReviewer's automatic annotation system deactivated. By expanding the respective risk of bias categories, you can see there are no automatic annotations activated by RobotReviewer. The functionality, however, is still the same. You can highlight information in the document and then add the annotation to the respective risk of bias category. Be careful, as mentioned before, if you activate more than one box, RobotReviewer will add the information to all activated risk of bias categories. In order to avoid this, simply collapse the categories by clicking on them, and only activate the one where you want the information to be added to. After the 4th PDF, if you click on the Next button, it will lead you to a small questionnaire at the end of the study. The questionnaire will remind you in case you forget one of the questions. We also added a text field at the end, which is not mandatory for you to fill out, but in case you want to tell us anything about the study or your experience with RobotReviewer, please feel free to fill in any information you'd like us to see. By clicking on the Submit and Continue button, you've completed the RobotReviewer user study. Thank you very much.